Nothing gets me fired up more than that song. It makes me so happy to be alive. What is up, you beautiful people? This is Gary Horne, and this is the NWA. It's the show celebrating the past, present, future, history, legacy, and tradition of the greatest wrestling entity of all time. Obviously, we're talking about the National Wrestling Alliance. And with me, as always, I am here with my best of friends, my closest compatriot, Wil Martin. Hey, Wil.
Good evening and happy birthday to both Gary and Dr. Rob. Today is your birthday. You got an we got the extra Power on Friday, but you got an episode of Power on your birthday, and you get to come on here live on the post show and hang out with me and all of the beautiful NWA fam for your birthday. And so I want to wish you guys a happy birthday. I'm sure everyone in the chat wants to wish you a happy birthday. I'm excited because we have a ton of great wrestling to talk about, and we got some big announcements to get to. So what a happy day, y'all.
Yeah, the other guy over there. Thank you, Wil, by the way. Thank you for that. Thank you for everybody who sent your well wishes. We appreciate that. Rob and I do share the same mother. We were born at the exact same time. Obviously, Mom's no longer with us since we both popped out at the same time. Oh, it's so weird. Anyway, there's my brother, Dr. Rob Stinson. Hey, Doc.
Yeah, and I like how you said that song makes you happy to be alive, because you have been alive now for 28 years. Happy birthday, brother.
Yeah, happy birthday to you too, man. And I am actually like 22 seconds older than Rob, so that's what happened. I came out first. I was just checking out the lay of the land, signaled back.
He said, come on out. It's all clear. Come on out.
Let's do it, Rob.
He was like, Rob, let's go live. Let's go live.
he's like, hey man, we're on the 1027th day of the reign of Bob Backlund, just so you know.
Doc came out with a notebook, like, all right, I'm keeping up from here.
Yeah.
I will be the ultimate source of championship title reigns.
Gary saw the doctor and said, hello, you beautiful doctor.
What if I had just been bored and I just walked out and it was just like, hello, what's up, you beautiful people? Anyway, all right.
This is the world and I am a baby.
Yes. Here we are. All right. Enough of that. Let's talk about wrestling. We just had our episode of NWA Power, not without struggle, but you finally got it, my God. Somebody turned on the right switch. They flipped the thing, and there it is. Didn't happen yesterday. Almost didn't happen today, but you got it. You got the finals of the Champion Series. Now we know how that turned out. We're going to talk all about that. Also on this episode of the post show, don't shake your head yet. Just be into the moment. Also in this show, we promised, I said on my own Twitter, this is my pick to win the NWA Women's Invitational Cup. She's going to not only win that, she's going to go on to NWA 73, and she's going to win the NWA World Women's Championship. This is the future owner of the Burke. When we roll into September, this is the person that will have it around their waist. You'll get to meet who that person is tonight. We'll introduce you to her. And on top of that, if you haven't seen already, over on the NWA Twitter account, they've officially given you permission to decide who is the next person we are able to reveal to you. It could be one, it could be two reveals, because you get to choose whether or not you want to see one more participant in the Invitational Cup, or do you want to see the next tag team to be introduced, competing for the reforming, whatever it is, the NWA World's Women's Tag Team Championships that haven't been around in years and years and years. Somebody's going home with them at Empower, and you get to decide who the next team you see. As you know, last night, if you tuned in with us for what we dubbed, or Sal Rhenaro dubbed, Power Outage, the first team was here in studio with us. They were on, and that was the Hex, Allison Kay, and Marty Bell. There they are. Beautiful, beautiful people inside and out. Just gorgeous ladies. And we're so happy to have these OGs from the NWA Lightning One era back. And they're coming together to take that first reign as the NWA World's Women's Tag Team Championship, or champions. So it's going to be a big deal. If you missed that episode, it's on the YouTube channel. Go back and check it out. You can hear the conversation with those two. They're taking it very seriously. But, of course, there are 3 other tag teams that are going to be involved in this tournament. How are you guys feeling? You feeling good about this? You feel good about the Hex? You feel good about everything? What do you amp it up to do?
I mean, you know how I feel about the tag team tournament. I'm kind of chomping at the bit to see who the next tag team is. We got the Hex, as we learned last night. I'm anxious to see how that part of Empower shapes up. So that would be my vote personally. But you guys go on to Twitter and cast your vote and figure out what we're going to announce tonight.
All right. Well, go ahead, Doc. You had something to say.
No, I'd say yeah. I mean, it's hard to argue against them. I still have questions about the chemistry between that team. Obviously, they go way back, but I addressed it point blank last night. The elephant in the room is what's the relationship like? I mean, when we last left Power prior to the shutdown with the pandemic and everything, they weren't on the best of terms. I wonder if it's water under the bridge. They said it was. We'll see. It'll all play out at the Chase in St. Louis.
You're right about that. There's a lot of things that are going to go down at the Chase of St. Louis. And you know what? We're just like touching the tip of the iceberg. You know about the Women's Invitational and you know about the tag team tournament that's happening. But also keep in mind, legit Layla Hirsch is challenging Kamille for the NWA Women's Championship there at Empower, and Deonna Purrazzo, the Impact Knockouts champions, coming over, and she's going to defend her title against Melina. So those are 2 epic matches, and I've been informed by a trusted source that these are not the only matches that are going to take place. So there's even more to be revealed throughout the next couple of weeks. So get excited, because Empower is going to be huge. That's not even talking about 73. Now, if you want to see 73, you can't go. Legacy Supps, one of the, like Nick Aldis, he's trying to help you out and give you 2 tickets and a giveaway over there. But otherwise, you can't go. You can't go to NWA 73. It's booked up, but you can still get it on pay-per-view. And if you haven't already, I think tonight here at the Champion Series, we're getting a little taste of where things could go. And I say we dive into that, knock that out, because we want to get these people home before AEW. Thanks for coming out with us here this evening, and we'll get you home before AEW starts, and we'll talk a little bit about that Champion Series. So the big thing that happened on this, we got a little opening with Melina and Aldis and Taryn and Aaron. It was sad to see them go, but we got to get to the Champion Series, the actual finals, and that's Team Pope and Velvet versus Idol and Kamille. So now they don't get to choose. This was interesting. They didn't get to choose their matchups for their team. They had to choose their teams, and then their teams are making these matchups. And out of those matchups, if I'm jumping too far ahead, I'm just trying to move through this for us. But stop me whenever you feel like you want to. We got the following matchups. We got Tom Latimer versus Trevor Murdoch, which just made me tingly all over, because that's exactly the kind of match I wanted to see, and how that's not a main event on any pay-per-view anywhere, that you got it here on this episode of Power. Anyway, Tom Latimer versus Trevor Murdoch. You got Mims versus Jax Dane, and Colby Corino versus Sal Rhenaro. And so with that setup in mind, I guess, unless you guys have something else, we'll dive into the first match here. All right, so the first matchup was Tom Latimer and Trevor Murdoch. It was everything I ever wanted it to be. I'll just say that right off the bat. Everything I've ever wanted it to be, except a lot of commentary from Nick Aldis, just grumpiness outside at the commentary position. But other than that, the match was phenomenal. No, don't agree, Rob?
Oh, the match was great. It was great, but you're talking about grumpy. That's not grumpiness. That's righteous indignation. This is what I've been preaching for the last. He verbalized every single one of my grievances right now with this corrupt president and this ridiculous conspiracy series. So you and again, I know you and Joe Galley, Gerrymander Joe. I know y'all are in cahoots and y'all talk and y'all are buddies and you call me your best friend and life partner and all that. I see the doggone on the TIPW show DMs. I see it. I read those. I know you don't think I'm very tech savvy, but I can get in there and I see what you guys have been saying.
All right. Well, glad you got that out of the way, Will.
Drama. Ooh. No, I will echo your sentiments that, yeah, this is a main event on any card. And was super excited to start the show off with this. It was one thing that definitely made our delay and our little wait to see Power tonight well worth it. And I forgot all about it as soon as this match got going. And I mean, we say this a lot in the NWA, but this really is like a blood feud. I mean, you've got Trevor Murdoch and not just the champ Nick Aldis. There's definitely a rivalry there, but it's extended beyond just the champ into all of Strictly Business. And there's definitely a lot of emotion, a lot of things behind this feud, and a lot of different facets. And so this match just really shined a spotlight on that. And it's been a little bit since When Our Shadows Fall. We haven't really stopped talking about it, but it's not as fresh on our minds. So I feel like this match was a great way to help a lot of us remember exactly what was happening and how that turned out. And, Strictly Business's, mission and Trevor Murdoch's mission, and just reminding us of what's going on. And it just renewed my passion and vigor going into St. Louis for wherever this is going to go, inevitably where it's going to go, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. But, I don't know if it was righteous indignation, but Nick Aldis
It was
okay.
Righteous indignation.
Okay. But the champ, Nick Aldis, was definitely passionate. I'll give him that. And he was voicing his concerns, and it's not any concerns that are strangers to us on this show. And so, I was kind of used to it in that regard. But I mean, hell of a match and all over the place. And yeah, it was a great wrestling match. That's the only way I know how to explain it.
Well, I think you did a great job, Will. And these guys, every time they're in the ring together, they beat the hell out of each other. And that's... Calm down, Rob. Anyway, the point is... I had
to give Gary time to Google righteous indignation so he'd know what it meant.
I still didn't get there. Because you have to know how to spell indignation. And it happened for me.
I'll text it to you.
Hey, thanks so much. I appreciate that. All right. Well, anyway, so this... Doc texted me, and I'm just answering him. I can't type to him while I'm doing this. So anyway, what was I saying? Oh, the match ended when Latimer seemed to have the better Trevor, just couldn't get him put down, goes for a splash in the turnbuckle, and misses, falls down, and Trevor goes up top and hits the flying bulldog on him for the 1, 2, 3. And that's how that one broke down. And that gives Pope and Velvet 5 points there. Go ahead.
My gosh. So many things.
Seems like a clean win to me.
It seemed like a clean win to you, minus the toss over the top ropes. Everybody conveniently forgot that, right? It took the champ to point that out.
Current in the modern day NWA.
Oh, is it not? Are we selectively applying that rule now? It seems like we're selective about a lot of things in the NWA. But I'm just talking about Nick Aldis has come out of here week after week, match after match, one clean win after clean win, and then the ref turns a blind eye to this ridiculous toss over the top ropes. Again, I want to know who pays that ref salary. I think I know.
The NWA.
Yeah.
NWA
and who runs the NWA? Besides you, Gary. Oh, you ride in there with them.
I wish I ran the NWA because, I assume it's got a fat paycheck, but I don't know. It's not me. I'm stuck here. This is like...
Stuck here with us? Come on.
This is lower tier. They're like, somebody... We're tired of Doc Stinson DMing us on all the social media accounts. Go talk to him directly and distract him. That's what they say. So that's what I do.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so Pope and Velvet are up with 5 points. The next matchup is Mims versus Jax Dane. We really, if we weren't moving so fast, all these matches are fantastic. Just great matchups to have. The finals were impressive for sure. And so here you're looking at Team Aldis, or not Team Aldis. He wishes. You're looking at Team Kamille and Idol. They need the big, strong Mims to take a win here, but he's up against a former NWA World's Heavyweight Champion in Jax Dane. And, well, as try as he might, Mims was dominated a lot during this matchup. But one false move, one missed move by Jax Dane led to a roll-up from Mims and proving that anything can happen in the world of professional wrestling. Anybody, any given Sunday. There he is. Mims gets a 1-2-3 on Godzilla. Jax Dane. Doc, I got to know how you felt about that one.
Shocking. Surprised. I mean, I've been very open about my opinions of Mims. I think he's one of the great, maybe the most intriguing rising star right now. Jax Dane, former NWA World's Heavyweight Champion. He's been to the mountaintop, and I did not see this coming. So, it was a good match, really good match, a match between two big guys. We're not talking about a technical match. We're talking about two brutes in there pummeling each other, and I did not see the outcome of this coming. I was beside myself, but it is what it is. So good for Team Strictly Business.
Okay, yeah, and Will, how do you feel?
I think it was a big statement win for Mims. I mean, this match was bell to bell, was two big guys going at it. And I think Mims, he's been an up and comer for, the last few months, and we've been talking about him a lot on the show, but I think this was a chance for him to step in the ring with a former NWA World's Heavyweight Champion and really prove himself. And, there was parts of this match that were surprisingly fast-paced, but both of these guys, even being big guys, I mean, they've got stamina, they've got strength, they've got speed, and so made for just a really, really good back and forth. And in the end, it was just Mims coming up with the win after Jax took that hit in the corner pretty hard. So I think it's a big statement win for Mims. There's a lot of team things at play, and that's going to kind of overshadow the individual accomplishment. But I would definitely want to spotlight Matthew Mims, big strong boy, and congratulate him, because that's a huge win and staking his claim here in the NWA.
Let me ask you this, guys, because I don't want this ridiculous series to detract from what we saw. Would you guys go so far as to say that up to this point, this might be Mims's career moment so far?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I think they even said that. I think either Joe Galley or Tim Storm or somebody said that's it's a statement win. That's probably the biggest win so far in his career against a former world's champion.
Yeah, I think it was Joe Galley. I remember but it doesn't matter. Anyway, the point is, one of those guys definitely did in the middle of the matchup talk about this has got to be the most important match in Mims's career to date, is him versus Jax Dane right now. Not only are you winning yourself an opportunity at a title shot for your team, you're carrying your team to victory, but also you're taking on a former NWA World's Heavyweight Champion right here in this matchup. So it's a big deal. Anyway, so yeah, absolutely. I think that this is by far Mims's biggest win, and firmly establishes him as a player in the NWA for sure. All right, and then the final match of the Champion Series, it came down to Sal and Colby Corino. We've been waiting on this one. And our pal Sal joined us last night and debuted his music video, which we still have. If you guys want to see it, I can play it again. Some people are very anti it. Some people are cool with it. Anyway, Sal, he's lighthearted most of the time. He went into this matchup very, very serious. But unfortunately, Colby still getting the better of Sal Rhenaro by devious means, some might say. Curious what your thoughts are, though, Doc. I see you look it up.
Man. I mean, we saw this play out. We saw the conspiracy series reach its calculated conclusion. We saw Sal Rhenaro and his team conducting themselves with grace and dignity, and then Colby Corino taking the low road, which I don't condone. I never condone. to rob Team Kamille and Team Idol of a much, in my opinion, a very hardly earned and well-deserved win. And then Team Pope and Team Velvet. I'm shocked to say this, that I haven't seen Pope use such underhanded tactics to encourage Colby to do what he did tonight. I've not seen the likes of this ever probably before in the history of the sport. You guys all saw it on the screen. I don't recognize this win, but the fix was in. It was in from the beginning. This was calculated, and we knew it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen like 8 weeks ago.
Will, please help me here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the fix is in, but I think in this particular match, it was a little disheartening to see Colby Carino take out Sal the way he did. It just in a vacuum, a one-on-one match. But that's the beauty of this team aspect of this Champions Series is, you've almost got two ideals or principles, fighting against each other, which is, we love Sal. He's a great friend of the show. I would love to see him, and maybe he will, maybe at NWA 73, or maybe, coming up on this next season of Power, he'll be able to get his revenge on Colby Carino for everything that he's done to him. Tonight was not that night, unfortunately, for their one-on-one feud, but for the team aspect, I can't, and Rob, say what you will, but I can't lie and say I wasn't excited by the outcome, by the prospect of what we're going to get to see, some of the championship matches potentially that can happen now. And, this Champion Series for the last few weeks, we've been talking about the prize and what the implications are. And it feels good to have kind of a stamp on that to end the actual tournament and actually move forward into, okay, who are these guys going after? I mean, you've got a team full of people now that all have title shots. When are they going to cash those in? When are they going to go for it? Presumably they can't all do it at NWA 73. What are we going to see? How is that going to play out? So it's exciting now to have that potential and that possibility in front of us. And I can't lie and say I'm not excited to see Pope and Velvet's team come out on top in the end.
Especially in the moment that Pope, is coming off that big loss with Tyrus. Yeah, it is nice to see Pope has another path to the 10 pounds of gold or whatever title he wants. That also gives us the opportunity to. Doc, we don't have time for this. What are you?
No, I just want to say, if you're looking for paths to the 10 pounds of gold, all you have to do is challenge the champion. He's a fighting champion. He's accepted every single challenge. We saw earlier, you conveniently skipped over the Sean Daivari debacle because you don't want to talk about what Strictly Business did to Plunkett and Daivari. All you got to do is make a deal with a dealer. He grants everything. So if Conspiracy Corgan's really worried about a path, here's the dirty little secret, guys. Here's the path. Challenge him. If you want to get in a ring with a dealer, just ask him. And if you're worthy, you'll get the shot. We don't need this ridiculous little Prince of Europe World War I era chess match manipulated by this corrupt rock star. By the way, if you want to listen to a real rock band, I'd suggest you listen to Hanson or Menudo or a real rock star instead of this ridiculous band. I've never even heard of. I don't think he's got a single number one hit. But anyway, you can get me going all day with Conspiracy Corgan. He believes what people tell him. He's surrounded by a bunch of cronies: Irish Pat Kenny, Billy the Kid Trask, Gerrymander Joe Galley, you, Gary, and bottom line is, look at the history. Look at the last 1,000 days. If you want a shot, if you want a path, all you got to do is earn it. That's all you got to do. Challenge him, and he will grant your challenge if you're deserving. Tell me I'm wrong.
Well, I was getting a message in my headphones that Billy the Kid Trask actually wanted me to make sure to tell you happy birthday. He told me earlier, and I'm sure he would take that back now if he could. But Billy Trask says happy birthday, Doc. I
accept that because these 28 years have been hard earned. So I accept. Thank you, Mr. Billy the Kid Trask.
All right. And you're right. I don't want to gloss over the fact that Sean Daivari, of all people, showed up to help Jeremiah Plunkett today in a tag team match against Chris Adonis and Nick Aldis. And I'll give you this, Doc. Adonis and Aldis ran like a well-oiled machine, like Strictly Business is at the top of their game. So unfortunately for Daivari and Plunkett, they weren't enough to overcome Strictly Business on this occasion. So, credit where it's due. Those guys are good.
Yeah, they're good. They're good, Gary. That's all I've been saying. They're pretty good.
All right. Well, so listen, I know we're getting to the top of the hour here, so we want to have some fun with you guys. Do you want to see who the next entrant to the NWA Women's Invitational Cup is? Does everybody want to see that? Because she's not here live, but I did get a video from her, and it moved me. And so I want to show it to you guys and let you see who this person is and learn a little bit more about your future holder of the Burke, the NWA Women's World Champion, should she meet Layla Hirsch or Kamille after winning the cup. Here she is.
Two hours left. 2 hours left to go. And then I am out of here. I need to go start training my ass off for the biggest opportunity of my life, wrestling at the Chase and in Power. To call NWA home. They've given me the greatest opportunity of my life to go to Empower and make history. NWA is the longest, oldest organization in the world. I can't help but feel proud. Kamille is the new NWA Women's World Champion. She's had a meteoric rise to the top. And she's big and she's bad, and I respect her a lot. But now that she's on top, everyone's gunning for that spot, including me. So who is Genocide? Genocide's not just a gimmick, not just a character. My body really has metal and wires in it, so this is me. What you see in the ring is me, and it's a symbol of metal and wires that I have and things that have happened to me that I've been able to push past and my trials and tribulations, and I am a fighting warrior. My goals at NWA are to show my value as a strong woman, as a businesswoman, as a wrestler, as someone that inspires. I want to ultimately win the Women's World Championship. I am a champion and I'm a fighter. I'm not here to make friends or have fun. Fighting is what I do, and it's what I've done my whole life. And I want to go down in history as being NWA's first fighting female cyborg. When I heard Billy and Mickey announce Empower, the first ever NWA's all-women pay-per-view, I can't help but feel so excited that for the first time, it's my chance. And it's our chance as women to show that we're not just part of the show, we are the show. Being a woman in this sport for the past 7 years, I want to leave behind a legacy for the little girls that look up to me. I want to leave behind a message to them and to little kids in general, that they can grow up and be whatever they want to be. I want to be their superhero. And this one I hold up is special to me. I got this at a show in Texas at Mission Pro, and it says, "You rock, we love you, Genocide." This little girl here told me a story about a boy in school that told her girls cannot be strong. And she said, yes, they can. I've seen it. I've seen Genocide. She is strong and she is powerful. Having the opportunity to be on NWA's 73rd anniversary show and in Power is the biggest moment of my career. This has been a 7-long-year journey. I have lived and breathed wrestling. I've had the opportunity to wrestle all over the world. And having this shot to be on this pay-per-view special means everything to me. I've been a fighter my whole life, and now I have an opportunity to show the world who I am. If you're on the fence about buying the pay-per-view, just know you're gonna watch history in the making. The hardest working men and women giving it all, every ounce of blood, sweat, tears, giving it all and putting it all in the line, back at the chase. So trust me, tune in and you will not be disappointed.
Well, so there you have it. Officially, right there, Genocide is joining in Powerrr's NWA Women's Invitational Cup. And of course, she didn't mention it in the video, but she is going to be joined by her BFF here lately, Taryn Terrell, will be in her corner. So get excited. This is it. This is your winner of the NWA Women's Invitational Cup 2021 and future NWA Women's World Champion. There she is, Genocide. Guys, what do you think? How can you watch that video and not feel exactly the same way?
I mean, you throwing to me or Will?
Either one. Whoever feels like doing it.
It's like
Jake
this.
Paul's in the chat. Thanks for being here, Jake.
You put me in a
I was trying to. That's what I'm trying to take care of.
Yeah, you put me in a precarious situation here because you know that I don't ever bet against Strictly Business ever. But on the other hand, I've seen Genocide. I've seen her up close. I saw her pay respect to Genocide or to Kamille, and man, gosh, Kamille versus Genocide with these kinds of stakes on the line. Mind blown.
This is exciting. Will, do you have anything you wanted to throw in there?
Incredible video. Genocide has been somebody that has, been top of mind for us for the past few months. We talked about her a lot. So this is a good chance to get to know her a little better, get even more excited than we already were about Empower. This seems to be the theme. It's like every day more and more excited. And so I'm stoked about it. Can't wait for it. And if you hadn't ordered it, just like she said, you can witness history. So go ahead and order it.
I can't tell you how excited I am about Genocide joining the NWA Women's Invitational Cup. I mean, she should be there. That makes all the sense in the world. But also just after watching that video, I mean, look at, I got a soft spot in my heart, first off, for like somebody who goes out of their way to go ahead and prove to you exactly what's in their heart, like why they're here, what they're about. And there she goes. Like that's already hard enough to get somebody who goes out of their way to make that kind of content and put it out there. So that's just from the, we all got it, the content creator side of us that just are going to respect that. Not only that, then she's putting in all that extra work. Like, where does she have the time to do that stuff? Because she's in there getting punched in the stomach while she hangs from a pole. I don't understand even what's happening. You're just letting that dude beat you up, and he's very muscly. It's very scary for me. I would not do that. I would cry. So Genocide, you immediately, boom, right then, I was like, this is it. This is it. There's nobody else. It's Genocide. All right. Well, I guess now, while we've got a little bit of time left, let's jump over to our poll and let's see who's winning to see what the people want to have revealed this evening. All right. Let's find out. Drum roll, please. I'm doing it myself. I don't know. Anybody know how to do a drum roll? All right, with 55.2% of the vote, people want to know who another tag team is in this NWA Women's Tag Team Tournament.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'll give you a little behind the scenes. The graphic that I have for this is not what anybody wanted. So this is going to get me in trouble for a minute. But this will be the one that goes out. Mickey James, I see you in the chat, so please don't fire me right now, because I'm just gonna throw it up on the screen and we'll fix it in post. Here we go. So they want a tag team. We're gonna give them a tag team, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome your next tag team entered. Besides the Hex, it's Hell on Heels.
Yes,
Sahara
let's
7
go.
and Renee Michelle are entering the NWA Women's Tag Team Tournament. And this is going to be, of course, on Saturday, August 28th, Chase Park Plaza, Power. Got to get it on pay-per-view. Might as well go be there live. These two women could be the next NWA Women's Tag Team Champions. How about that, boys? Look at those two. They're ready to go.
I love it.
This is
Will's over there giddy, man. Will over there giddy,
man. I am, man. I can't even hide it. It's not. You know me. I'm not a hype guy. It's just genuine excitement to know that we're going to be in St. Louis. I'm going to be sitting there watching a women's tag team championship for the NWA Women's Tag Team Championship, and I'm just straight up giddy about it.
So now that you see this, though, does this change your prospects on the Hex coming out on top, Will?
Well, I don't know that I was ever on record saying that. That may have been Gary that was presuming that. I usually reserve my judgment. I'm very deliberate. I reserve it until I know the full stakes, everybody that's in there. So we're halfway there. We still got two more teams to reveal. And once we get there and I know a little bit about what's going on and all the different teams, I'll be able to better make a judgment. But just based on the two teams that we're looking at now, I don't know that there is a clear decision from me. I mean, I can see these two meeting in the ring and going either way. So I'm going to reserve my judgment, but just know I'm excited.
I'm excited too. This is a great addition. Mickey James doing God's work out there, pulling in the best women in the world for this Power show. Guys, I don't know if you're anywhere near St. Louis, how you could possibly miss this. This is going to be huge. It's epic, even. I see you front row. He just said epic. So that's a good word for it. I feel like that describes it accurately. Now, there's still two more tag teams that we've got to see announced. There's still, four? We've probably got like about four more women to announce for the NWA Women's Invitational. You could have had one tonight, but you don't get her because now you're going to have to wait because you voted for the tag team. That's okay because there's lots to reveal. Kamille versus legit Layla Hirsch for the NWA Women's World Championship. Deonna Purrazzo is taking on Melina for the Knockout Championship. Those are already big enough. NWA Women's Invitational Cup. There's a tag team tournament, and there's more beyond that. Power is a loaded card. When Mickey James says she wanted to come in and make the first NWA all women's pay-per-view. She wasn't kidding. Like, she came in ready to play. Like, this is going to be the hottest thing in the world on that Saturday night. St. Louis is going to light up. It's going to be a party in St. Louis when these women take over and they show you what wrestling's all about. It's going to be exciting. You're going to get the first ever NWA Women's Invitational Cup. This could be an annual thing. So what we're talking about here is history in the making. The first time this cup is won. I hear, I don't want to give too much away, but it's got a reference to the past. There's a lot of references to the past. We're talking about the entirety of NWA women's wrestling history. It's going to be encapsulated in Power. You guys have no idea. I'm so excited. I get goosebumps, and I don't want to say too much, and Mickey J's be like texting me saying, like, Gary, you fired. So I'm just going to shut up. But what I'm telling you is all of this stuff is huge. It's going to be a big, big deal. You want to be there if you can. And then you got the women's tag team titles coming back, and somebody's going to win that. Is it Hell on Heels? I don't know. Is it the Hex? I'd like to think so. I mean, it's Allison Kay, former NWA World's Women's Champion, and Marty Bell, one of my favorite wrestlers. And they're teaming up. Come on, who could beat them? I don't know. There's like 2 other teams. So it's hard to, I don't want to make any snap decisions without knowing, I'm a scientist. I'm somewhat of a scientist myself. I like to review all of the data.
You're a scientist you're a scientist in the same sense that Gerrymander Joe is a journalist.
Okay. All right. Well,
that's a compliment.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, because he won an Emmy. Well, it was a slow news day, bro. It was a slow news day
because they give those out daily. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in with us. This has been a big show for us. It's our second show in the week, back-to-back after shows. Technically, the last one wasn't even after show. It was the only show. Power outage. Thank you guys for all being here with us. Thank you to Jake Paul and the other trolls that were in the chat. We appreciate you stopping by and just saying ridiculous, stupid crap. I don't know who has that kind of time on their hands, but, congrats to you. But most of all, thank you, James. Thank you, Mickey. Thank you, Who Got Bids. Thank you, Rod. Thank you, Marlon. Thank you, Front Row, Certified Hustler, Eric Dale, all of you, the Wildcat, CJ Omega. You seem biased to something else. Anyway, glad you're here. Glad you're watching. More to come from Empower. And keep in mind, NWA 73, we saw it. Doc, what do you think? I mean, I'm just saying, tonight, Trevor Murdoch earned a title shot again. And so did the Pope. So did Jax Dane. So did Colby Carino. So what is going on right now? And what's going on in NWA 73?
Yeah, NWA 73, one of those bozos is gonna claim the championship. I've done the math. It looks like this is gonna fall on about day 1044. And when the sun rises the next day, we're gonna be on day 1045. Because all we're seeing is another iteration of the Aldis Crusade. It's like people always say, who is Nick Aldis beating? He's beating everybody. He's gonna continue to beat everybody. The landscape hasn't changed. It just took this crooked little experiment, this bit of manipulation to get us here.
It just hit me now. I was just like, wait a second. Look at that. Also earning a title shot already is Genocide. Genocide has a title shot no matter what. Genocide's in. And if she wins the NWA Women's Championship, Women's Invitational Cup, she can march right into NWA 73 and claim that title shot. Or even if she didn't, she could still claim a title shot. It's crazy. Things is crazy right now for the National Wrestling Alliance. You got to be involved. You got to be subscribed on Fight TV. You got to go to Empower. You got to buy that bundle on Fight if you can't be there. You can't go to NWA 73. It's sold out. Unless, let's take one more second to honor our sponsor. No, not Busch Light, although we love them very much. Good old Busch Light. Let's talk about LegacySupps.com. That's the Champs brand right there. They have some of the top of the line supplements for whatever your health needs are. I mean, we're talking You need peak performance in your mind, your body, immune system. They've got stuff for everything. LegacySupps.com will get you there, whatever your goals are. And right now, if you jump over to that website, pop in your email, you can enter yourself for a chance to win 2 tickets to NWA 73. The only 2 tickets that are available to someone are through LegacySupps.com. So make sure you drag yourself over there if you're not already at NWA 73. Because you think Power's big, it's NWA 73 is going to be big. This is going to be the biggest weekend in wrestling in forever. I can't tell you how excited I am about it. Fellas, do you have anything else you want to say before we wrap this thing up?
Thanks for joining us. It was fun. 2 nights in a row. We'll see you tomorrow. No, we get tomorrow off. Yeah. So, but it was fun.
Depending. I mean, unless Fight randomly airs an episode of NWA Power unplanned.
Yeah, we'll be here. I'm sure we'll be here if it happens.
Doc, what do you want to get some more conspiracy theory out before we wrap this thing?
Oh, come on, man. Look, I was trying to end on a positive note. I was going to say, we were surprised that tonight's episode that we thought would air yesterday aired tonight, but it worked out great for everybody. We had a fantastic Power episode on Friday. Go back and watch it. It's for free on YouTube. Some excellent analysis, especially in the first match. And then you had a free episode of the post show Power outage last night, and we had Power tonight and the show right afterwards. So we got a bunch of extra stuff here in the last few days. It all worked out in everybody's benefit. Great content, great stuff. And I have to agree with you guys. At the end of the day, I don't like the conspiracy series. I think it's crazy, but we got some good wrestling out of it, and that's what we're all here for. Good prize fight wrestling. It all works out, and the show will move on.
Doc, how cool is it that on your birthday right now in the chat room, if you take a gander, the Mickie James, the legendary Mickie James, Hall of Fame professional wrestler Mickie James, perhaps one of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time, hanging out with Penny Lane, hanging out with Mildred Burke, all of them. Mickie James is telling you happy birthday right now.
Man, I tell people all the time, I'm a military veteran. I don't get sensitive very often, but stuff like that, like the older I get, especially after Petra was born, the more sensitive I get. So I try not to look at that stuff. I appreciate it, but it just gets me choked up, man. I cannot believe it. This is the kind of thing that 10 years ago, if you'd have said this would be going on, I'd be like, you're ridiculous now. It's amazing. And I love Mickie James, of course, Nick Aldis, Team Aldis. I'm a Team Aldis OG. So it's good stuff. And just hanging out here with the hashtag NWA fam, all you guys in the chat, agree or disagree. I know a lot of you give me a bunch of crap and hell, but I know it's all in the spirit of good sportsmanship and in the spirit of love for this company. And we're all in this together. I appreciate it. And here's to another 28 years. See what I did there?
I'm gonna keep driving that home.
All right, guys. Well, again, please, if you're in the area, you got to head to Empower. St. Louis is going to be hopping that weekend. There's a fan fest. We didn't even get to talk about the fan. There's so much stuff. Like we need a whole episode just to talk to you about that weekend. NWA 73 is sold out. So you got to head to LegacySupps.com if you still want to go. You can still get some tickets to Empower, but you want to be able to participate in that whole weekend. So we suggest get your Empower tickets. Go to LegacySupps.com, enter to win there. Maybe send Nick Aldis a lovely DM. Maybe just tell him how much you appreciate him as the real world's champion, and he'll help you win those tickets. I don't know. I can't speak for
He'll
Nick
either
Aldis.
Help you or he'll block you. Be careful. Be delicate.
Chances are Nick Aldis will block you. But anyway, you guys don't want to miss this weekend. It's going to be huge. I'm excited to see what happens from here with the Champion Series. We still got like a couple of weeks, fellas. Trevor Murdoch, Pope, Colby Corino, Jax Dane. Any one of those men has the opportunity right now to put themselves into the main event.
It's only one man.
73.
It's only one man maybe two who should be putting themselves into the main event against Nick Aldis, and that would be either Chris Adonis, the rightful number one contender, or Tom Latimer. Those are the only two.
All right. Well, we're going to find out, and we're going to find out soon enough. In fact, I'm going to hang up here, and I'm just going to go on a mission to find out and see if for next week we can get some clarification on what the main event of 73 is going to be there. Rightfully so, obviously, Nick Aldis will be there. He has... Actually, let me just go out of my way for a second to say that Nick Aldis does have a title defense this weekend. And it's against Stefan Bonner from UFC fame, the Ultimate Fighter. You know that guy? So I'm just saying, maybe Nick Aldis isn't even at NWA 73. That's a possibility. Right?
I just like seeing Rob's face when you say things like that.
Well, okay, Rob, I don't know if you're paying attention, but on August the 15th, so it's
yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware.
Well, just
Go
so
ahead.
you know, 5:30 p.m. MAW Lift Bridge Bash 2. There's an NWA Heavyweight Championship match. Stefan Bonner versus Nick Aldis. It's taking place in Stillwater, Minnesota. Champ's going to be there. A UFC legend is going to be taking on Nick Aldis. We might be looking at, who knows what the landscape looks like after this weekend for the NWA. This is kind of nuts, actually. I can't believe I almost skipped right over that. You guys, you got to pay attention. This is actually on MAW's YouTube site. You can stream this match. It's going to be live streaming on YouTube, so you can watch it. And like Terry McDermott in the chat says, Bonner is wild and mean. So this is going to be fun. You got to look up MAW. We'll try to put out some links and everything, and make sure the NWA socials do it too. We'll get those over to them, and that's an NWA championship match you can see this weekend. So you want to tune in for that.
It's another night at the. It's another night of the office for the champ. Okay, like if you were watching, I don't know if you guys were listening to Nick's excellent, the champ's excellent commentary tonight during the Murdoch and Tom Latimer match, and he points out to Tim Storm, he's like, it's evidently been a long time since you've held this belt, which it has been. It's been well over 1,026 days, because you got a whole another 200 plus day reign in there. So it's been, upwards of 1,500 days since Tim Storm has held that title. And you have to look on the belt to be reminded that this is the World's Heavyweight Wrestling Championship, not the World's Heavyweight MMA Brawling Tiddlywinks, whatever have you championship. This is the kind of match that plays directly into the champ's favor. He's a fighting champion. It's a prize fight. No. I mean, this is a big match. It's a big match. But under gentlemen's rules, there is no way, and I'm talking about no way in the world, that Nick Aldis doesn't walk out of this match still your real world's heavyweight champion. Guaranteed.
You talk big. I get it.
I talk big, Gary, but I've not been wrong yet. You say that. I feel like we say this every time. We said it before Charlotte. We said it before in our Shadows Fall. I came on this show in this public forum and said, guaranteed the champ will walk out. I'm saying it right now. Guaranteed he will walk out this Sunday, still champ. Guaranteed he will walk out of St. Louis at the Chase, still the champ. Guaranteed on 2,000 days he will still be the champ. Until I'm proven wrong, you're just going to have to accept it, because those are just facts.
Will, he's very confident, so I'll give him that. So.
I mean, he's, to his credit, he's not wrong in what he just said. But
thank you, Will.
As I mentioned earlier, I'll reserve my judgment until after we see this match coming up, because to Gary's point, there's another title defense before we get to NWA 73.
Will, come on, man. Look, you started warming my heart up, and then you totally drove a stake through it, because you're like, yeah, man,
it's your birthday.
Not wrong.
I'm trying to be nice.
Himself right. He's proven himself right, but I'm going to reserve my judgment until it's like saying, hey, I'm going to pick the winner of the Kentucky Derby after the race. Come on, man. Show some gumption. You know Nick Aldis, this buster here, Stephen Bonar or Bonner or whatever you want to call it. I don't even know the guy's name. The American Psycho. And he ripped that name off of a movie that was terrible. And there's not even any big actors in that movie. And, Oh, that's right. You have a movie podcast on the side. Yeah, you're right. I'm out of line.
Yeah, well, as long as you know that. So anyway, I'm just saying, this is not somebody you want to take lightly. This is a guy who knocks people out for a living. And so, just throwing that out there. And when Nick Aldis returns on August the 15th, assuming Doc is correct, the very next, in 2 weekends from there, he's got to defend against Trevor Murdoch.
Look at what Eric Dale has said in the chat, my man. Look at what Eric Dale has said in the chat. If. He's read it. Go ahead and read it.
Doc has gotten wealthy on betting on Aldis.
Anyone who has bet on Aldis has gotten wealthy.
I don't think you make money betting against Aldis. I'll give you that.
Thank you.
That is true. He finds a way. It's like Jurassic Park dinosaurs having sex. It's like life finds a way. That's I think that's the best analogy I've ever made in my entire life.
If you want to hear more about that, you can go listen to Gary's movie podcast where he talks about dinosaur reproduction.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up. We didn't mean to go this long. Thank you guys so much. All of you still hanging out here. James, Certified Hustler, I see you, dog. If we can do it, we'll have lunch. I promise you. That'll be awesome. Eric Dale, Naughty, thank you so much for being here. Rod, Eric Dale, did I already say you? Probably. Eric Jones. There's Terry McDermott. So many of you. Bobby, I see you over there. All you guys for being here in the chat. We love you guys. It's fantastic to hang out with you each and every week. The hashtag NWA fam. Big things coming. Big things, as MVP used to say, big things popping, little things stopping. These next few weeks for the NWA, National Wrestling Alliance, are huge, and you don't want to miss it. The landscape of pro wrestling changes on August 28th and 29th when Empower happens and then NWA 73. It's going to be epic. Thank you so much for being here with us. We love you guys. Until next week.